together with His Holiness Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew. Thank you. First of all, I would like to greet His Holiness Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew I on his first and I hope not his last visit to Lithuania. Your Holiness, thank you for accepting my invitation. This visit of yours is undoubtedly a historic one. Today I had the personal opportunity to thank His Holiness for his attention to the Lithuanian Orthodox Church situation. Throughout its history, Lithuania has been, is, and I believe will always remain an open and tolerant country for people of all faiths and goodwill. Eastern Orthodoxy is the second most numerous traditional religion in Lithuania, and it is a very important part of Lithuanian history and culture. Since the 13th century, the Orthodox who were living in the territory of Lithuania were under the Orthodox metropolis of Kiev, under the Patriarch of Constantinople, and they considered Constantinople as their mother church, because this is the source of the religion. Only at the end of the 17th century, when the Patriarch of Moscow, after having required the right only to ordain the elected Metropolitan of Kiev, he decided to take full possession of the Orthodox metropolis of Kiev and together the Lithuanian Orthodox community. So it is only natural and human that with Russia's full-scale aggression against Ukraine and with Patriarch Kirill of Moscow openly and actively supporting it, some Orthodox living in Lithuania are no longer possible to be part of the Patriarchate of Moscow without a conflict of conscience. This concerns not only the citizens of Lithuania, including those of Greek or Ukrainian origin, but also tens of thousands of Ukrainians who were forced to flee the war and found a temporary, or in some cases permanent, home in Lithuania. It also concerns the still growing community of Belarusians in Lithuania who fled the repression in their own country and continue fighting for freedom here. So it is understandable and historically justified that in order to confess their faith without a conflict of conscience, representatives of national communities addressed His All-Holiness Patriarch Bartholomew for admission to the Mother Church of Constantinople. Therefore, I, both personally and on behalf of the government, supported this request and the request by Orthodox priest to His Holiness. I would like to stress that the decision on the return of the Ecumenical Patriarchate to Lithuania can only be taken by the Patriarchate itself. This is a matter for the Church and the believers. Today I have reassured His Holiness, and I would like to reiterate to all the believers in Lithuania that my government will do its utmost to protect and guarantee the freedom of faith, conscience, and religion enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of Lithuania for each and every citizen. The state and its officials may not interfere or try to influence the canonical decisions of churches. However, when they are made, it would be hypocritical to pretend that we do not understand their importance. The decision of the Ecumenical Patriarchate of February the 17th to uphold the appeal of the 5 Orthodox priests who were expelled from the clergy by the Patriarch Kirill of Moscow to restore their status, to admit them to the Ecumenical Patriarchate, is an important step towards religious freedom in Lithuania. This decision by the Ecumenical Patriarchate restores justice to 5 Lithuanian citizens and gives much-needed hope to the Orthodox Christians in Lithuania, who should not be forced to choose between their faith and their beliefs. Today we have taken another important step. We have signed an agreement on cooperation between the government of the Republic of Lithuania and the Ecumenical Patriarchate. I hope that this will be a solid foundation to strengthen our relations and for the Patriarchate of Constantinople to re-establish its religious community in Lithuania. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Dear friends, we are indeed very glad to be able to pay this first official visit to your beautiful country upon the kind invitation of the Honorable Government of the Republic of Lithuania. We are personally grateful to Her Excellency, Mrs. Ingrida Šimonytė, for welcoming us and our entourage at the Government Palace and for our cordial and fruitful meeting. We are visiting this hospitable country for the first time to strengthen the bonds between the Ecumenical Patriarchate and the Republic of Lithuania. Together with the Prime Minister, we just signed an agreement of cooperation that stipulates and encourages closer ties and collaboration in various fields of common interest. As mentioned clearly in the text of agreement, the presence of Orthodoxy in Lithuania dates back to the 13th century. This centuries-old relationship between the Orthodox faithful of your country and the Ecumenical Patriarchate bears testimony to the fact that this is not the first contact between the land of Lithuania and the Mother Church of Constantinople. Today, a new perspective opens before us, along with the possibility to work together for the establishment of the Exarchate of the Ecumenical Patriarchate in Lithuania. This is also the will of Orthodox priests and faithful in your country. As mentioned in the agreement of cooperation, we support the aspirations of both the group of Lithuanian Orthodox priests and believers, representing various other ethnic communities in Lithuania, to follow their conscience and to restore historical justice by practicing their faith in a church under the jurisdiction of the Ecumenical Patriarchate. Mindful of and fully committed to the freedom of conscience and religion, enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of Lithuania, in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, but also in the encyclical of the Holy and Great Council of the Orthodox Church, held in Crete 2016, we fully support the right of the Lithuanian Orthodox believers to worship freely and in conformity with their conscience. As the 2016 Holy and Great Council of the Orthodox Church declared, no one has honored man and cared for him as much as the God-man Christ and his Church. A fundamental human right is the protection of the principle of religious freedom in all its aspects, namely the freedom of conscience, belief, and religion, including alone and in community, in private and in public, the right to freedom of worship and practice, the right to manifest one's religion, as well as the right of religious communities to religious education and to the full function and exercise of their religious duties. The Council also called for constructive synergy and earnest cooperation between Church and State in order to preserve man's unique dignity and the human rights which flow therefrom, and in order to assure social justice. Indeed, cooperation between a state and religious organizations can bring significant benefits to society. The United Nations recognizes the role that religious institutions can play in promoting peace, tolerance, and understanding among different communities. In fact, the United Nations has actively engaged with religious leaders and organizations to address various social, political, and economic issues. One of the key benefits of such a cooperation is that it can lead to a more cohesive and harmonious society. Religious organizations play a significantly influential role on the moral and ethical values of their followers, and they can work together with the government to propagate these values in society. This can lead to the reduction of social conflict and to deeper solidarity. The United Nations has also recognized the crucial contribution of religious organizations to the advancement of sustainable development. For example, religious institutions can be powerful advocates for environmental protection and can work with the government to cultivate sustainable practices in their communities. The Bible, too, emphasizes the importance of cooperation and peace between different communities. In the book of the prophet Isaiah, it is stated that God will judge between the nations and will settle disputes for many people. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. Similarly, in the New Testament, Jesus declares, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." This verse emphasizes the importance of working for peace and reconciliation between different groups. The Bible also teaches that love and peaceful coexistence among people are the keys to a fulfilling and godly life. In fact, one of the greatest scriptural commandments is to love your neighbor as yourself. Similarly, St. John writes, "Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love." These passages remind us that our love for others is a reflection of our love for God, and that we cannot truly know Him without first demonstrating love and compassion towards our fellow human beings. In this spirit, the Ecumenical Patriarchate has launched a number of initiatives to mobilize people around the world to take action on these issues. One of the principal concerns for the Church of Constantinople has been to foster peace and reconciliation between different religious and ethnic groups. We have been a vocal advocate for inter-Christian and interfaith dialogue, and we have worked tirelessly to build bridges between different communities. We also strongly support efforts to promote social justice and human rights, including the rights of refugees and other vulnerable populations. In addition to promoting peace, the Ecumenical Patriarchate has also been a pioneer and a leader in the global movement to protect the environment. We have repeatedly spoken out about the urgent need to address climate change, and we have launched a number of initiatives to raise awareness about this issue. One of our most notable actions has been the establishment of September 1st as Day dedicated to prayers for the protection of creation. This decision of the Ecumenical Patriarchate inspired our beloved brother Pope Francis to also announce the same day as a Catholic World Day of Prayer for the Care of Creation. Followed by the Anglican Communion and other Christian denominations and ecumenical organizations, such as the World Council of Churches and the European Council of Churches. Therefore, this initiative of the Church of Constantinople has turned into a source of unity for Christians around the world in defense of our ethos, our common home. In a similar way, with the agreement signed here today, the Ecumenical Patriarchate sacrificially offers itself to the service of the Orthodox faithful in your country, in Lithuania, by extending its spiritual presence in the country, along with the unique responsibilities entrusted to us by the sacred canons of the Church and the sanctified, long-standing practice of the Eastern Orthodox Church. This is an exceptional honor for us, and we are therefore particularly grateful to the Prime Minister and the government of Lithuania for their support. As we approach the celebration of the great feast of Easter, dear friends, we wholeheartedly offer to all of you our patriarchal benediction and paternal prayers. May the Lord always keep you and your families and grant to the blessed land of Lithuania a happy and prosperous future. Amen. Thank you.
Dėkojame žiūrėjusiems, linkime.
Thank you for your presence. Have a great day.